First, a ride you'll wish you never took. I'm Carlos, a night owl in Miami, 2018. It was 3 a.m. and I'd just left a club in Wynwood. My phone was dying, but I managed to book an Uber. The app said Manuel, black sedan, 2 minutes away. I stood on the empty street, the bass from the club fading into a distant thump. Then headlights pierced the dark. A black car pulled up, no Uber sticker, no license plate, just an oily sheen on its frame that glistened unnaturally. The window rolled down and this guy, Manuel, I guess, stared at me. His eyes were too wide, unblinking, like glass marbles sunken into a waxy face. "Get in," he said, voice flat as if it came from somewhere deep and hollow. My gut screamed, no, but it was late. I was stranded. I slid into the back. The car smelled like wet earth, like a freshly dug grave. No radio, no GPS, just silence so thick it pressed against my ears. I tried small talk. "Busy night?" Nothing. He just drove, turning down streets I didn't recognize. Twisting alleys that shouldn't exist in Miami. The city's bright lights vanished, replaced by a suffocating dark. The roads narrowed, lined with gnarled trees clawing at the sky. I checked my phone. Dead. Then I noticed the mirrors. The rear view was angled wrong, showing only my pale reflection, not him. My heart pounded. "Hey, where are we going?" I asked, voice trembling. He didn't answer. Instead, he started humming, a low, guttural tune that vibrated through the seats, making my skin crawl. His hands gripped the steering wheel tightly, knuckles white and cracked, as if he was holding onto something alive. The leather seats felt cold, almost damp, and there was a faint scratching sound from the trunk, like something trapped, clawing to get out. We stopped at a dead end surrounded by mangroves dripping with moss. No houses, no lights, just the croak of frogs and something else, a whisper on the wind that wasn't human. Manuel turned, his face wrong, too pale, too still, lips stretched into a grin that didn't reach those glassy eyes. "You shouldn't be here," he said, voice echoing inside my skull. I bolted, yanking the door open, running into the swampy dark. Branches slashed my face. My shoes sank into rancid mud. I heard the car rev behind me, headlights slicing through the trees like predatory eyes. I dove into the undergrowth, heart exploding, until the lights faded. I wandered for hours, finally hitting a gas station at dawn, clothes torn and caked with filth. When I checked Uber, there was no record of the ride, no Manuel, nothing. Real facts. In 2018, Miami police received multiple reports of ghost rides, unregistered drivers picking up passengers in unmarked cars, especially near Wynwood. No drivers were ever identified, and some passengers claim their apps showed no trip history. Locals whisper of a spectral cabbie tied to a 1980s hit-and-run death in the Everglades, still luring victims to desolate spots. Next, a swim you'll never unsee. Sophia, a lifeguard on Miami Beach, summer 2015. I worked the night shift patrolling the deserted beach. It was 2 a.m., the ocean black under a sickle moon. The air was thick with the stench of salt and decay. And the moonlight cast jagged shadows across the sand, like broken bones. I was locking up the lifeguard station when I heard a splash, too loud, too deliberate for a fish. I grabbed my flashlight and scanned the water. Nothing but inky waves. Another splash, closer, rippling toward me. My beam caught something, a shape gliding just under the surface. It looked human, but wrong, moving too fast, too fluid, like it didn't need air. I froze. The thing surfaced, pale as death, slick as oil, no hair clinging to its skull. Its face God, its face, where eyes should have been, there were just hollows, black and bottomless, sucking in the light. It tilted its head, like it felt me standing there. My chest tightened. I couldn't scream. It dove, and the water went still, too still. Then I felt it, wet sand shifting under my feet, a subtle tremor like something was tunneling beneath me. My heart raced as I realized it might not be alone. Maybe others were out there waiting in the dark water. I ran, flashlight bouncing wildly, tripping over driftwood that snapped like brittle bones. The station door slammed behind me as I locked it, hands shaking. Then came the scratches, slow, deliberate, like nails dragging across wood, testing the lock. Then silence, heavy and suffocating. Morning came and I found marks on the door, deep, curved gouges, not human like claws from something ancient. I told my boss, but he laughed it off, said it was a prank. I quit that week. I still dream of that face, those empty sockets staring through me, pulling me under. Real facts. In 2015, Miami Beach lifeguards reported unexplained sightings of a pale swimmer near Crandon Park. Marine biologists dismissed it as a misidentified manatee, but locals tied it to a 1970s drowning incident. A diver who vanished, his body never found. Some claim his spirit, or something worse, haunts the coast, drawn to the living. Our final tale, a mystery that repeats every week. I'm Javier, a bartender at a South Beach club, 2019. Every Friday at 11 p.m. she came in. A woman, maybe 30, long black hair spilling over a red dress, always alone. The neon lights of South Beach flickered, casting an otherworldly glow on the streets, turning the pavement into a shimmering void. She'd order a mojito and watch the crowd, her eyes sad and hollow, like she was searching for someone long gone. We called her Red, since she never gave a name. At 1 a.m. she'd leave, walking toward Ocean Drive, her red dress swaying like a warning. One night, I watched her go. She turned a corner and vanished, swallowed by the shadows. No trace, no sound. The air was thick with humidity and the distant crash of waves, carrying a faint, mournful hum. I asked around. Other bartenders knew her. Same story, every Friday like clockwork. We started tracking her. One night I followed closer. Click of her heels echoing unnaturally loud. I called out, "Hey, you okay?" She stopped, turned, and her face, it was her but wrong, pale as ash, eyes sunken into dark pits, lips parted like she'd scream but couldn't. I blinked, and she was gone, leaving the air heavy, oppressive, like I'd stepped into a memory that wasn't mine. Next Friday she was back. Same routine, same sad eyes, like nothing happened. I never followed again. Some things aren't meant to be chased. Real facts. In 2019, South Beach businesses reported sightings of a woman in red appearing weekly, matching the description of a missing person from 2005, a local dancer who vanished after a Friday shift. Police found no leads, but her case remains open. Some believe her spirit relives her final night, searching for answers. Miami's sun-soaked streets hide shadows that never sleep. The stories of Carlos, Sofia, and Javier prove the tropics hold nightmares as real as they are terrifying. These tales are just a glimpse into the darkness lurking in every corner of the world, waiting to be uncovered. Which tale chilled you most? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to Mr. Night Terrors. Got a horror story of your own? Tell us. We're listening. Your story might be featured next. Until next time, stay out of the dark.